Alright, so I'm doing this video kind of for Chris because he wants to know how to basically know what an M-nub is and how it all works. So I'm going to go over it. This would be very helpful for anybody that doesn't know. You take out your arm to your hop-up chamber. This is a VFC chamber. It's going to be nice to show because it's clear. But the issue here is if you were to push this arm down, it goes too far forward in the window here. And that will produce inconsistent hop and tear your mound a little bit. If you take this other window, before it was cut down, it goes in the middle of the window here. So basically the same concept is going to go on with installing this M-nub. These are Hunter Seeker 5 M-nubs. Okay, this is a pre-cut from something else. What you do is you take out your arm and you cut down this area where you would put your old, where you'd put the old nub in. So kind of to go over this, this is the old nub, and it pushes down like this. So you're getting hop that's not flattened on a level. That gives you more consistent base, and it's a little bit less. Takes a little bit less touch to change your hop. With this, you can see how squishy it is, and it would give a much more consistent effect for your hop. So this is how I'm going to show you how to install this. You take the arm, cut it off, and with a Dremel or sand it off, and make sure it's nice and flush, straight. See, look at that. Now what I've done here is you can see little sanding marks at the back all the way forward because I've gone here and just sanded like this straight until it's all flat the same. If you go a little too much, it's okay, because when you put it in, it's going to be more straight. The nub comes down like this at an angle, and it's going to be a little bit more straight when it gets there. So don't worry too much about it. Just make sure it's nice and flat. And I do it so that you can see all the marking here, so that's nice and flat. And then just go ahead and clean it real quick. Okay, that looks great, right? So next you're going to take your hop-up chamber, and I use this because it helps me to see if there's an issue. You're going to go ahead and put it in the window here, and you can see where the window is. So you're trying to get the M-nub to fill up the window. So you would cut this. This is the back end right here with the adhesive. And I'm going to tell you, I don't use I just remove it and I put it on with super glue because the adhesive itself doesn't work too great for me. Sometimes it comes off, so I use super glue. But you'd put it in here and see if it fills up your window. You could drop this in here and push it with a screwdriver. You want to be careful not to rip it. So basically you get this in here, right? See how it tries to rip the front of it, so you got to be careful of that.
When she turned her back, he cut her throat.
Alright, you can see that that's a pretty tight fit. Okay, from this angle you can see it's in there pretty well. Now it's really tight, so you're probably gonna have to pre-cut that, so I'm gonna take it out, but I'm just demonstrating. You're gonna want it so that it pushes nice flat hop. So you're gonna take this out, just press kind of gently. I want to use this tool because it's kind of sharp, and I don't like to mess these up because they're about $5 each. Get a 2-pack on ClandestineAirsoft, however you say it. Okay, so I got it out here. So what you want to do is get your barrel window here. And what I do, this is Chris's, just to show as an example. What I do is I put on a bucking here that has the top cut off. I'm not sure where it is right now, but it has this area cut off so I can see what I'm doing. And I put this in here. And maybe this is not a good barrel to show with. Let me get a different barrel real quick. Alright, so here's another barrel, and you can see that the window is pre-cut on this. This is just a cheap bucking, and what I'll do is install it like this. I'm not going to use this chamber, probably because it's really tight. You can see that that would mess up the chamber, but it'll mess up the lips. But just to demonstrate, you can take your real metal chamber, put it in there, and get it into position. You don't have to pre-cut this. Just imagine where that window piece would end up. So it'd end up about within the window of the inside. And you want the nub to be cut enough that it actually goes in. So you could take it right here, and you can see that this is too long. See, there's no way to physically push this in there. Just to demonstrate. You can see that there's just no way to push that in there. So you would take this and cut it from this side, not the side that has the adhesive stuff. So you would cut it, make sure it's nice and straight. Some of these, they have a little bit of an angle, so you want to take some sandpaper and finely sand it till it's nice and straight. Okay, so once you have one, it fits in the window, then all you do is you take this and attach. You could put a tiny bit of super glue, it'll be right there, and you press it in. It should come to the window perfectly, and you look from both sides, is it coming up nice and straight, and you would be done. That's how you would install an M-nub, and it would go through the window. And you'd be surprised at how much that helps your hop consistently, even with a regular bucking, or I guess commercial bucking if you want to call it that. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention is you're going to want to test your M-nub. You put the spring in, you have your M-nub glued on here. It's usually glued to the end of the window, or the arm, excuse me. It's usually glued to the end, something like this for example, but you're going to want to test through your window and see if it can go through, and it's nice and straight through there. So once you have that on there, you put the first wheel in here, and you're going to turn it just a slight bit to see if you can see the M-nub coming through the chamber. If you see the M-nub through the chamber when it's not even turned, it's at the very beginning, what that means is that you're going to get it over hop, or it's going to create another issue for you. If you're using our hop patches, sometimes that it's too much press right away, so you get the over hop. So what you want to do is take the arm back out and take off the mound, or excuse me, the M-nub with the glue, and just put it back on here, and you'll have it like this basically, and just go back and forth on the sandpaper again. 220 sandpaper. Don't worry about if you shave too much that it's affecting almost the front here where it hits into that. Just make sure that it's a nice flat surface. Put the M-nub back on, and again test with the wheel right here. Make sure that you can't see the M-nub through the either side of the chamber. Turn the wheel a little bit, you should be able to see the M-nub at that point. Then you've got it installed correctly.